Hello everyone, good evening. We have 50 participants as of now, 50 odd participants, and we are waiting for a few more to join. Let's just give them 2 more minutes and then we will kickstart the session. And yes, I saw one message came whether it is recorded or uploaded. So, yes, we have this streaming live. What I will do is I'll share the link on the chat. Feel free to share it with your friends. And also, you can keep it handy for yourself. And all these links will be shared with everyone after the session. So no need to worry. You will have all the information. I would request if you can
No.
start messaging your friends to join this session. Make sure your friends, your teammates, they are there on the call.
Hello, 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 hello.
Guys, I will be keeping you on mute. In case you have any questions, you can raise your hands and then I will call out your name and then you can unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Hello.
Okay. So hello everyone, good evening. Thank you for joining this call and thank you so much for showing your interest for the IBM Z Datathon 2025. This is the fifth edition of the IBM Z Datathon that we are conducting, and we started it in 2020 along with a partnership of IBM. We did it during the COVID period. That's why it was all virtual. And as the world moved to normalcy, we have started doing this hackathon in a hybrid mode. There are a few locations we do it in person, and then there are a few locations where we do it virtually as well. Uh, we have had multiple sessions before this where we used to give you entire structure of Datathon, how to participate, what are the different steps, what are the different stages, what is the expectation. So without spending too much time, I would still give you a brief of the entire structure of Datathon in case those who could not attend past sessions or in case those who could not see the recordings also, so that you would have an idea what Datathon is about. But before I start that, it will really help us to understand if you can help us answer these polls. You will see few questions on your screen. It will be really helpful if you can start responding to these questionnaires. It will help us get an understanding of the kind of participants we have, the kind of attendees we have, and accordingly, we will try to make some changes to our scripts. Oh, great. So I see most of the survey answers are, we have definitely one majority answer. So I see those who are first time participating in Datathon. We have about 90% who are the first time participant in this Datathon. So that's a good thing that you took the step, and we'll make sure all your questions are being addressed. Since this is your first time at the Datathon, I'm sure you must have heard of the hackathons. But being Datathon, we would want that all of you are aware of what the Datathon and how it is different from hackathon, what your approach should be. And one more thing, for all those who are the first time participant, but not just for them, for everybody, you must have received submission guidelines over email, or if not, you will see the submission guidelines in the WhatsApp group chat as well. We also posted in the Discord channel. If you go to the Discord channel, there is a channel announcement. You would see all the relevant documents in the announcement. So I would recommend all of you guys to go to the submission guidelines. That will help you get much more clarity on what Datathon is. And in that guideline book, the one good thing is we have actually posted some examples of the kind of problems statement that you can come up with, what kind of ideas we can come up with for your project. And not just that, we have also added a link to the past projects, basically the 2024 submissions that were made. You can actually go and see the projects that were submitted in last year. I'm sure that will also give you an idea of what sort of projects are expected in Datathon. So I would really recommend you guys to go through the WhatsApp group, to go through Discord group. Please pay attention to all the information that is shared with you guys. You can also look into keep tracking your emails. I'm sure in one of the email chain, you must have received the guidelines as well. I see that we have 85% students who have responded they have a team, but I still see 15% who do not have a team. So, guys, since this is a 24-hour hackathon, I know many of the students have come back to us saying that they would rather prefer working solo than with the team. We have done it for like past 4 years. This is our fifth year. And from experience, we can tell you that you won't be able to work solo in this datathon because it's a 24-hour time period. So you will have only 24 hours to work on this IBM Z platform. So you will definitely need your team members. You will need team with every member who has individual strength. They will be working in different areas. So, like one person will be good at data analysis or research work. Another person will be good at creating a presentation or a video. Another person will be much more smarter, or will be much more good at creating a solution or creating an implementation plan. So, we always recommend to have a team. That's why if you see in all our conversation that are going forward over email and the WhatsApp, you will see that we have asked all of you to raise your request to get a team member through a form. All those who are requesting a team, we are assigning them a team. In case you are not able to work with the assigned team members, we're also trying to reassign you another team. So again, putting much more emphasis on the second point, make sure you already have a team, and if not, get a team for yourself. Thavanesh, yes, you can unmute yourself. You had a question.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, we have already registered for a team. We are already in 4 members, ma'am. We already registered, but the one guy registered wrongly, ma'am. What can we do, ma'am?
Sorry, the one person has registered is not responding.
Ma'am, registered, ma'am. We four are registered in one team, ma'am. And the one person
Yeah.
name is Rahav, ma'am. He registered to another team, ma'am. What can we do, ma'am?
Okay, that means you do not have 4 members. You only have 3 members, right? The
Yes,
fourth
ma'am.
member is already moved to another team.
Ma'am,
So,
no,
right, you
not
can actually.
ma'am, not moving. not moving, ma'am. But he wrongly registered to that another team, ma'am.
Okay, I would recommend in all the WhatsApp, in all the conversation, you will also see a issue form. So I would recommend these issues you can raise through the issue form also. If you want a member to be removed from any particular team, you can send, you can raise that request for issue form. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Just last question before I let the host come in and take over the stage. So, have you participated in SSF Hackathon? Yes, I see that most of you have not participated in SSF Hackathon or any competition before. So, now that you guys are part of our community, you must have joined the Discord channel, you must have joined our community Beam channel as well. You will be getting all the updates from for our upcoming hackathons as well. We always recommend you guys to continue participating in these hackathons to build your not just to build your profile and not just for the placement purpose, but also it's a good mode to keep your excitement for this field ongoing. So your study should not never get boring. You should always have opportunities to leverage your study into these real world type of problem solutions. So that's why we would always recommend that keep following us on our Beam platform. Keep looking forward to the emails since we have your email IDs also. We will keep sharing you updates on the upcoming hackathons. Feel free to register for those upcoming hackathons as well. With that, uh, I will end this poll. Great. Now, I hope most of you guys are able to see my screen. If you're not, just raise your hand and we will take this concern. So yeah, before going into the actual slides of this, I would like you guys to know that today we have our host. Her name is Vaidehi, and yeah, her name is Vaidehi. Her name is Vaidehi as well, and she's a data analyst. She has already pursued her masters from University of from Scotland, and she will be joining us. She has been supporting in these datathon in these hackathons for past 2 years now. She has been sharing her insights and her experience on what you should be doing in terms of when you're thinking of an idea. So that's why if you see the session is simply as IBM Z Datathon 2025 ideation session. This session is more about your approach on how you should come up with the perfect idea. I won't say perfect idea, but your final idea around which you will build your solution. Along with that, we also have two of the winning teams from last year, and I would like those team to come on camera to unmute themselves and introduce themselves. I'll just go ahead with first. Let me just mute everyone. Guys, just keep yourself muted. Don't unmute yourself because there's a session going on. We have so many students here. So I would recommend just it would be good if you can just unmute yourself. So yeah, the one thing team we have is a team bootstrap from last year. Do we have Anand? Do we have other team members from the team? If you can guys can come on camera, if you can just give a quick introduction about yourself.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
So first, thank you for giving us this opportunity to introduce our team, and I will thank the opportunity to IBM and Shooting Star Foundation. So we are team bootstrap samplers from SSN College of Engineering, Chennai, and we are the global Datathon runner-ups of IBM Z Datathon 2024. And our team members include myself, Anand, Abhinav, Avanish, Shobit, and Abhishek. All of 5 of us are part of the call right now, and we are excited to like guide up the next set of participants and make sure to solve up their doubts and making sure that they also have an experience, memorable experience like we did in the IBM Zetaton 2024.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Anand. I know that we'll have a lot of questions for you and we'll chat a lot. The main thing we would want you guys to share with our students is your approach on the idea, because that's the biggest step. So it's always difficult to go from 0 to 1. And I guess coming up with a good idea is actually 0 to 1 step only. So yes. Guys, again, we would recommend all you to be on mute and only unmute yourself. If you have any questions, first raise your hand and then we will ask you to unmute yourself. Okay, before I again hand it over to host, we have one more team from the last year, Team Lupin. So, do we have any of the members from Team Lupin, Aditya or Midun?
Hello.
Yes.
Am I
Hi,
on?
Aditya. Yes, we can hear you.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Midhunes from Savitha College, currently in my third year of AI/ML department. I am passionate about building intelligent systems that create real-world impact. And I had privilege of leading Team Lupin as a team leader and the lead developer, along with my amazing teammates are Aditya, our lead coder, and the Rohit Prem, data analyst, and the Keshavde, our assistant coder.
Great, Midun. So, yeah, without wasting any more time, I know we are already 15 minutes up, and I would like to hand over the stage to our host, Vaidehi Cute.
Hi, I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is coming up. If you can just give
Perfect.
2 more minutes. Yes, we can see it now.
Perfect. So, hi, I am Vaideh Koite, and I'm currently a master's student in University of Edinburgh, Scotland. And so here I am to help you guys with understanding what exactly hackathons are and how to make this seem more easy. This might be the very first time some of you might be doing a hackathon, or some of you might be very experienced with doing a lot of hackathons, but I hope you guys take a few things from this. I personally have used this and have won a lot of hackathons. So this is a foolproof like points that we have got you guys for. So the first is to basically understand yourself. In understanding yourself, you can always ask yourself a few questions, which is like, what matters the most to you? Why is your why? To understand what's the purpose, the motivation, and what exactly that you dream of, and you yourself want to bring to this hackathon, or any ideas or anything that you're very passionate about and what you want to bring down. I would always recommend everyone in the team to do this activity by yourself to understand what exactly you as an individual want to bring to this table. Now, the next is to discover your skills. So basically, skills can be other than just idea, you also need to understand what skills you have and what skills you want to bring to the table. So what exactly you are good at, what is your strength. Am I still visible? Is my screen still visible?
No, we can see. Yeah, we can
Oh,
see your
okay.
screen.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So what are your strengths? I Most of you might not be like, I don't know if I'm really good with this or I'm good with that. Ask your friends and family. I assure you they always have points about what is good for you, what is not. You can always do a SWOT analysis where you can write your strengths, weaknesses, the opportunities, and what exactly you want to do. Always see what courses you have taken, and maybe try to jot down what coding languages you know. Other than coding, maybe you're good at coming up with ideas, or you're good with graphics. There's always something in everyone. So now the next is yeah, and also understanding what your goals and values are. Make sure that you um incorporate a lot of different values, understand what your short term and long term goals are, which actually would really help you to understand what projects you personally want to work with. So the next is idea generation. Now this is something you really want to work on when you are in a hackathon. This year, the theme for the hackathon itself is Tech for Good. Now, Tech for Good is a very broader perspective. It can be anything that you develop that can bring a positive or a good impact on the society. That's if I had to sum it up, this is what the theme is. Now, idea generation, if you want to where do I start with coming up with ideas? So there are basically two things. Either you can solve a very existing problem, or you can modify and build up. You can go around with research papers, see others' ideas, and see what you feel like is lacking or can be a little problematic. One of this example, if I had to give, I think 2 years before, for the same hackathon, there was one team which worked on sign language models. Sign language models are very common. They are a very basic project, but they understood a problem, which was sign language. Some of the signs have like very similar meaning. So they like changed and modified all of this project, and they literally were like the top 5 ones. The next is to like simplify or to improve the lives of people. Maybe you see a problem that no one has solved, and you want to work on that. That is also one of the things that you can go ahead with. um, the next is this is basically for a team, as you can work this, fill this out template for like the team. Each of you can come up with different ideas, the idea description, what is the benefit, who is actually your end users, and what challenges we might face while coming up with this idea or developing this idea. There can be many like social, technical, physical, mental challenges that might be occurring. You might have a project that is very ambitious and might not be a project that can be completed in 24 hours, but can you find something smaller, or maybe something partial that can be put out if the idea is really good? So I would suggest everyone in the team to actually come up with like at least 3 or 4 individual ideas, and use this template for getting out your ideas and putting it on the table. Now, the next is filtration. Of course, we're going to have million idea. Everyone's going to have their own idea. Some might be good, some might not be practical. Um, you might debate between these two ideas feel very good to me. So here's how you filter down your idea. So to win, a very basic winning formula that we always use is to combine innovation, impact, and feasibility. This very much aligns with Tech for Good principles. The first is to spot problems, then think about the relevant solutions, and keep it as much realistic as possible. Sometimes your idea might be too not applicable. If you're working with, let's say, farmers, and if you make something very complicated, that might not be something that they would love to implement in real life. They might be looking out to some simpler problems. Not every problem needs to have a complex solution, so make sure that your tech fits in good. You create some real impactful solutions out there. So that's one of the criteria. So this is next one is to like, now you need to filter down to like the top 5 or top 6. Understand like what are the safeguards, how simple the solution can be, but like you need to jot down every point for it to make it more clearer. uh, write everything possible that you can think about that idea, so that it's much clearer for you, your judges. When it comes to presenting that idea, it is as streamlined as possible. Understand the usability. You want to make your model very practical. You don't only want one user to use it. Of course, you want to reach out to multiple bigger audience. So you got to make sure you also are filtering down as like usability. The next would be stability. um this is like a niche idea answering one, but I can say that to understand how stable your market is, there is also a thing as idea growth. So you don't want your idea to be stuck in just the present. You want it to have a really future approach too. You want to see if this market that you want to get into has stable things. There is like a wider audience that you're covering, but there's not like a lot of fluctuations that are happening. So these are like a few points that you can use up. The next would be scalability, of course. Understanding people's needs and like keeping it consistent, going to a lot of different variety of people, different ages can be considered into that. Also stick to profitability. This is one thing that I've always observed that stick out to judges is understanding the business behind your idea. So maybe your idea must be really amazing, but there is very too little business reason behind it. So this can be a make or break situation for people. They would also try to find what the profit can be earned. Profit can always not be measured in money, so make sure that you always not only like rule it against money. Profit can be in different varieties. You can understand that and make sure which profitability does your idea fit in. um, this is another easy activity that you can do with your team. This helps my team to come up with the best solution out there. Is you guys can write down all your ideas and score your ideas based on these categories, and then whichever has the highest score can actually be selected as your idea. This minimizes friction between teams and ensures that you are not ruling out any ideas and every idea is given a fair chance between the team. The next is abstract. Now, this is a very crucial part for this hackathon, which can be like used to submit your idea. This is where you have like a little solution. Uh, like you have like a bigger problem now. You need to constrain it down, come to a very defined problem statement. I feel like defining problem statement is one of the most important stuff. If you don't have a very defined problem statement, it might backfire you in the future when you are going for solution. You might be questioning your problem statement again and again if you don't have a defined structure. I'll always say before even starting your hackathon. So this is like a kind of like a pre-hackathon preparation that you guys can do is to make a document and in bold letters write down your problem statement, define everything that you think is your problem and like describes your problem statement. You can always use generative AI for this. You can maybe like write a whole big paragraph and tell him like, "Hey, this is like what I'm thinking. Can you write a two-liner problem statement for me?" The next is to have a solution flow. This is you can have many varieties. You guys can go for like a solution architecture, you can go for drawings, you can create a flow chart, you can go for design thinking if you're really into that. This will make your work easy on the day of hackathon. This would be like your guide on what would be the next step and stop your confusion or like you don't want your team to be sitting there for 5 minutes and just think about, oh, what's the next step, and realize, oh shit, I did not do this thing and we went to the further thing. So you want to make sure that you have this solution architecture done just for the sake of making it easier for you. Then the next thing is to understand the real impact. Try to connect with your audience who is your end users. Everything at the end of the day comes down to who your end user is. So make sure that at the end you tie up your whole abstract or your actions to whoever the user is and what real world impact is. The next is support with evidence. Now, this is like a bonus thing, but when you put stats, people love it. People just assume that you have done your research. Uh, so make sure that you put in figures, you create like a storyline. Maybe your end user is a person, is a student who is suffering with academics. Create like a whole storyline about it. Do your find research paper, find paper articles to support your problem statement. So this would be like a little tip that I would give. This always touches people's heart and puts in like that realistic feeling to the problem statement. So yeah, that's all the tips that I have for you guys on how we can work on it and what to do, what not to do. Definitely now we'll be going back to our winners who basically have experienced all of this, and they have gone through this personally, and I would really love to invite both of the teams. We can do like a Q&A panel session. I can ask you guys a few questions, and then we can always end it up with like an open mic for it. So I would like to bring upon team Bootstrap Samplers and team Lupin. um, Feel free to answer questions. Um, so my first question is to Team Bootstrap. Um, can you can you briefly uh, tell us what was your approach while choosing this your particular statement for the hackathon?
Okay, I hope you can hear me.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah. So myself, Abhinav. So speaking about the approach, we initially decided that we should focus on two things mainly. The first one is obviously the theme, which we also had tech for good last year, and the next one is obviously the time constraint. So we are constrained to come up with a workable product within 24 hours. So what we planned was, no, designing, considering all these factors, we came to a conclusion to choose the problem statement of this tool for augmentative and alternative communication, that which we had some context on, and also we were working on that. So we thought, if we choose this and if we have a clear idea on the flow and the split up of what's to be done, our implementation, testing, and improvisation on the problem statement will be easier in the 24 hours that we are we can split upon these things and focus mainly on that to come up with a very good workable product. So for the participants, I would really suggest that they should take time and brainstorm in depth about their problem statement, focus mainly on that, because that's what's more important before your implementation and other things. That's what is the foundational thing in this Datathon.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. Do you have anything to add, Team Lupin?
Um, um, I am myself Milunes. Our approach was to first look at the real world problems that technology can create a direct impact on. So we brainstormed the different domains like healthcare, finance, and cybersecurity. But we found the blockchain ecosystem especially relevant because of the rapid growth and the increased number of fraud cases in the cryptocurrency transaction. We asked ourselves the two key questions, that is this the real and the urgent problem affecting the people today? Can we leverage the IBM with the scalability and the reliability to solve it efficient? So our Ethereum fraud detection stood out because it directly impact investor trust and the financial securities and the credit of the blockchain system. So it also gave us the opportunity to apply our AI/ML technique on a large scale data with IBM net computing power, making it both challenging and impactful. So our approach be problem driven and the user focused and the technology enabled, which help us confidently choose Ethereum fraud detection as our problem statement.
That sounds really amazing. One of the biggest question I think everyone would be having is how did the planning at ideation stage help you guys to in your final project we have this time constraint for 24-hour time frame. So how did this pre-planning for ideation stage really help you out in the real on day?
Midun, I will take over here, okay? So, hi ma'am, I'm Keshav, and I'm the assistant coder here from the team Lupin. So, in our identity stage, actually, the Ethereum fraud was a very broad topic. So, first we narrowed it down into categories. We have four to five options like rapid deposits, wash trading, and bot-driven volume inflation and location spoofing in our model. So, we clearly create a roadmap for each and every function, and without using the live data or of the blockchain, which was not feasible for the time frame. So we decided early on to work with the curated data sets and simulated patterns, and this allowed us to maintain our time management and also spend valuable time on the raw data extraction. So we also mapped out a workflow that included data set preparation and the detection logic and output visualization. This gave the project a clear structure so that nothing was done in isolation. And another critical part was ideation stage was dividing responsibilities. For example, one team had focused on preparing and cleaning the data, another implemented the detection algorithms, and another worked on presenting the findings in a user-friendly format. By doing this, we avoided confusion and worked in parallel, which was a key to meet the tight deadline. So I think others should follow. Like they have to break their problem statement into few categories, so which may lead them to a more effective way to achieving the time management.
Oh yeah, definitely agree with that. The next question is to bootstrap samplers, because you're like, how did your solution aim to balance like real world impact with like technical innovations?
Uh, sure, ma'am. So our solution, mainly we wanted to focus on it should be useful to someone who's going to be like using our product in near future. So we need to find out whether you need to bring out a balance between real-time use case and a real-time innovation, like innovation mentioned earlier. So during the ideation phase, we phased out. So what ideas would be it will be implementable within the 24 hours. At the same time, it should be doable at the 24 hours. We can be ambitious. By being over ambitious within 24 hours, it won't be possible because at the end of the day, it's a given time constraint. So this is where we went with our idea of bringing in augmented and alternative communication. So bringing a solution which will be useful to people having a real-time use case idea. At the same time, bringing out the tech stack which would be helpful. I mentioned about the earlier team, making sure each person has the defined roles and then making sure they aligned with them so that we could plan it out efficiently within the given timeline.
Oh yeah, perfect. So this is a question for both of the teams. If you had to give like one golden tip for the future Datathon participants, what would it be? I think I can start with Team Bootstrap first, since you guys are here.
Yeah. So this is Abhishek, team Bootstrap Samplers. Um, if I had to give like the one golden tip to the participants, I would suggest that like as your people mentioned, try to understand the problem more clearly, like before jumping into the coding or modeling. In a datathon, usually like people get carried away trying fancy models, like different kinds of models, like data sets. Yeah. So, but the teams that do usually spend more time on framing the problem clearly, it would be easy for them, to deep dive into the thing and then get the solution. So, yeah. And then spend like 45 minutes to 1 hour defining the problem statement. Who are, like, as you mentioned, like the target audience, the advantages, what are the existing things, how it gonna stand out alone from the existing models or like the existing products in the market, and also like gathering of resources like the data sets and all other like environment, etc., etc. So yeah, a simple, the well thought out solution that can directly address the problem, it often beats the complex one. Like as earlier Anand mentioned that like choosing the complex one then couldn't complete it in time is a like you couldn't complete the solution and win the competition. So try to you know get the problem statement that you can complete within the 24 hours. So even the so yeah, finally keep that in mind that the presentation matters. So even the best model won't stand out unless you can communicate your approach and insights clearly to the judges. So yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Anything from Team Lupin?
So yes, ma'am. So if there is one golden tip I would like to share to the all future Datathon participants are solving the problem is the only halfway of the journey. So but communicating it effectively is what truly makes you stand out and different from others. So the very first thing is that we have to start with the problem we have to start with the selection of the problem statement or the topic. So you just don't want to panic and pick something random. So choose a real world problem that people can connect with and something that has a real significance. So judges often appreciate solutions that have the potential to make the impact beyond the datathon. So next, focus on bringing a unique and innovative solution. So it's not always about creating the most complex model. So sometimes the simplest idea executed creatively can have the most powerful impact. So then so here comes the one of the most underrated aspect, the presentation. So your PPT is one of the entry card. A clear, concise and visually appealing presentation can elevate your idea, while a poorly designed one cannot take away. So when you presenting it, so don't just speak about what you did. So tell the story. So clearly state the problem and explain why it matters and highlight how your solution is different from other solutions. So be confident enough to speak with clarity and let your passion show. How do you have most effective part in that? So very often it's the confident and energy to of the presenter that leaves the strongest impression on the judges. And also don't underestimate the importance of teamwork and team management. So it's a key feature where you can divide the responsibilities wisely and ensure everyone has the role to play. So balancing your time between building the solution and preparing your pitch makes the huge impact in the presentation round. So my golden tip is that treat every datathon like a stage. So bring a strong idea, support it with a unique solution, and package with a powerful presentation and deliver it with confidence. So that's how you can truly make yourself unforgettable for judges and others. So thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much. There's a very like a question that has been occurring again and again. What coding languages did you guys use for your projects? Bootstrap, if you want to go first for that.
Sure, ma'am, I'll take it up. So, as mentioned, at the end of the day, it's a datathon. So, our aim should be mainly using a lot of data or data sets in order to solve a particular solution, which is like has a real-time use case to it. So, the idea comes again to data science and machine learning. So, Python is the way to go. And then I have Python. I've created a solution which thinks, but I need to present it well. So, how do I do that? Here comes into play of presenting yourself in a UX platform. We used Figma to design our platform, to design our solution, and even used the usual dynamic DHTML and usual web tools to like build our website. And yes, ma'am, I would say so. Haven't used Python for backend. It is your ML part, and for front end, it's a choice of your preference. So whichever you feel comfortable, go with that.
Perfect. Actually, yeah, this is one of the important point is I always suggest to have a team of mixed people. Do not only have people who are coders, always have a team of people who are good presenters, who are good in designing, because that is also an important part, and like also have like coders in your team. Team Lupin, if you guys would like to share what kind of coding language did you guys use?
Ma'am, we have mainly used Python for developing our machine learning models, and we picked Solidity for on-chain, and JavaScript, and also Python for analysis and visualization, and mainly the IBM Z Linux one for the faster processing of Ethereum wallet blockchains, and Go for performance. And then we paste it together logically. Then it everything connects at the right partner.
So we also have like a few participants who are not good, like are like still learning in the process of coding or are in a basic level. Do you guys recommend any platforms or anything for going no coding or like websites which helped you guys to code better? Anyone from both
Uh,
of the teams?
this is Avnish here from Team Bootstrap Samplers. So I would say like there are a lot of AI tools that are coming up now, like Claude or Cursor. which I think most people can explore. And like I've seen many people who don't know coding develop pretty good websites and solutions in a short span of time using these tools. So uh, I would suggest they can try using AI tools because it's currently booming and they're performing pretty well.
Yep, perfect. Actually, yes. Using AI tools would actually be helping out a few websites which would have snippets. If you ever get stuck with your code, maybe go to Stack Overflow. There always gonna be solution. You're gonna find like little snippets of code with like W3 School or any problem that you type in. Reddit is an amazing place. Reddit is also an amazing place if you want to find out uh, problem solution, or if you want to start getting your problem solution. It might be hard to come up with some problem statement, but I've always found Reddit to be an amazing place to at least like give a kickstart to it. So people who are asking how they can come up with problem statements or how to come up with things, this is a very good uh, place to start with. So we'll be taking questions in chat now. Well, we have to submit a solution. Yeah, some of the AI tools that I have also found like really helpful for my things are I use Claude for coding, which is very good and very accurate. Um, you can always use ChatGPT to come up with ideas, to write documents for presentations. Also, ChatGPT can always be also used for coding. Not a big fan of like the other tools, but yeah, I can see Anand has some insights for us. Yeah, go for it, Anand.
Sure, ma'am. And if people are morely focused on their idea and want to make sure they are solid with it before going with coding, they can also try with no-code platforms like Lovable and Bolt. So these give you like a basic, design you a basic websites, and you can get insight from it, and then copy the codes back to your Git repo and look into it and get better insight to it. So these tools will be much more helpful to them. Lovable and Bolt.
Perfect. So there is a question, is this hackathon only for software category or both software and hardware? We have also seen solution which are hardware based also. And they have like given a video presentation of their whole, like they have made like videos of them using the hardware and then doing solutions. Have you guys seen any of those during your time?
Uh,
Um,
Yes, ma'am. So as for hardware, the thing with hardware solution within 24 hours, you need to be very well adept with what you do. You need to have a clarity, and this is where ideation phase comes into play. You need to make sure what components are you using. You need to make sure that what tools are like getting used by everyone. You need to know what person is working on what and how. Same goes with software. So in hardware or software, we do have seen teams in hackathons like in Datathon showing both these solutions. But at the end of the day, it's all about making sure you have the right split at the right time and making sure everyone is doing their part parallelly, and making sure you combine your solution in the end. Making sure that you have a presentable solution for your Datathon.
Perfect. If you guys have any question, you can still type out. We have like more 5-10 minutes to go. Um,
I see Yoga Kanaka raising her hand. In case you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening, madam. Madam, I have a question that related to is it only the project will be done on software like a coding aspect or any other thing? I mean, we can do the live projects like that. Can we
you can do live
do
projects
that?
as well. You can do live projects as well. It's the time, it's only like the time constraint that would be a little bit little bit problem because you only have 24 hours, and you also need to figure out how IBM Z servers work. So, I mean, of course, our mentors are going to be there to help you guys out, but I would always choose something which is a little concise for a timed hackathon. Um, Oh, if anyone from both of the teams could like type out tools that they use in the chat box, there are people who are really would love to hear about the tools. There are people who have like I think missed out a few of the tools. So both of the teams, if you guys could just like type it out in the message, that would be amazing. How to choose a problem statement? Of course, we have gone through that. A simple recap would be just to go through a lot of papers, see around yourself where the problems can be. Of course, we'll share the PPT with you guys. You can use that to come up with ideas and problem statements. Um, so yes, Anisha will be sharing like things with you guys, and you can always take like idea from there.
We have Advait. He has raised his hand. Advait, if you want to have any questions, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. So I have this question that during registration process, we were told to be ready with our Linux One system. So what is Linux One and how do I use it?
Oh, if any of the past participant wanna share their experience about the Linux systems.
So yeah, Linux One is like a Linux OS, cloud-based Linux OS system provided by IBM. So in general, the OS that is used by IBM mainframes is not Windows, Linux, or Mac, the OS that we know of, and it's a bit complex. So the Linux One platform is a Linux platform provided for the common users like us to explore running applications on their cloud systems. Yeah.
You'll
So
also get to know.
during the
Oh
entire
yeah.
competition round, I need to use the Linux One system.
So of course about this you'll definitely get to know more when IBM does conduct a few sessions. Over the past few years, I've seen IBM conducting a lot of sessions to explain
Yes.
what Linux One is and what kind of IBM Z Datathon servers are. But if I had to, you can always use like you can use your normal computers and as far as I remember, Linux One was a virtual system kind of thing, so which can be accessed through IBM Z. So you'll get more information about it through IBM on IBM Z days. So look forward to that too. Um,
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Vaidi, just to add, on
oh,
October 10th, we will be having a session. You guys will be receiving all the information over email. We will have IBM SME who will walk everybody through IBM Z systems, how to get access to to their server, and how to submit the project. Yeah, that's it.
yep. Um, so. Okay, we also have a question if anyone from one of the team can explain, can say about it. Can the teams share their problem statement and if they were able to come up with the complete product? And how did you guys present it, like ML code, or did you guys create a dashboard kind of setup?
Yes, ma'am. We can definitely share our problem statement within our team. Our focus was on detecting fraud in the Ethereum blockchain. The idea was to identify suspicious wallet activity and the transaction patterns in the real time, helping users feel secure in a rapidly growing ecosystem. And we were able to come up with a complete product. It was not just a machine learning model running in isolation. We built a complete full workflow and the backend handled data processing and the ML based fraud detection. And on top of that, we created a dashboard like setup to visualize transaction and flagged anomalies and risk levels. So during that presentation, instead of just showing the code, we just walked the entire workflow in the video, that how the data comes in and how the model analyzes it, and how the results appear on the dashboard. This help the may make the solution more tangible and easy to understand, showing both the technical depth and the practical impact.
Perfect. Yep, Anand, you can go for it now.
Sure, ma'am. So our solution for tech work good was Pixet. So mainly people who are having autism or dyslexia or any other diseases usually tend to struggle by reading lexical text such as from books and from boards. And this is mainly used to mainly give solution for augmentative and alternative communication, also known as AAC. The problem with this is these are very expensive solutions which comes in tablets or usually via sign languages, and there's no proper solution to make sure these kids get the proper education which they deserve to. And here comes our solution, Pixel, a complete platform where we give the input, where the input text is given and we convert it into a sequence of pictures, also known as pictograms. So just like using Google Translate, but instead of giving from one language to another, give us a language, we convert that into images, a sequence of images, so that any person they would understand what's going on it. We also included a couple of coursework. We included a couple of many other features. I'd like to hand it over to Abhishek because he's the one who designed us product. So Abhishek, handing over to you.
Yeah. Since our target audience is the specially able people, you need to make the interface and their entire applications supposed to be the minimalistic and the simple. You can't include more number of options such that they will get confused. Yeah. So in this way, I would suggest everyone identify your target audience. If for example, if your target audience are the kids, like the below 15 or something else, make your interface colorful, playful, such that it reaches to the kids. And then if your problem statement is related to the old people like above 50 60s, since they have the problems like eyesight problems. So considering all these principles, AOX principles, it's supposed to be like the less colorful but simple, minimalistic, less number of options. It should not confuse them. It should be easy to use for them. So I would suggest based on the target audience, try to design that one. You can get some resources online. Even you can ask some AI tools it gives you. So that's all I would suggest. Yeah. Thank you.
So perfect. I think we can wrap up with our session. If you guys have any question, you always can ask on WhatsApp groups, and um, we would always be happy to answer those questions. And one more announcement is that we are doing raffle prizes. So you can actually so there's a link shared in the chat, and you can enter this raffle through those through that link. So make sure you guys fill that form and get into the raffle competition. Thank you so much for attending this session, and I hope you guys have a much more clearer idea on what to do and what not to do for the hackathon. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Vaidi, and thank you to both the teams. I guess with you being on the call, we were able to address so many questions, and it's actually good that you were able to share your experience and students could actually understand the entire process you had gone through. So yeah, again, thank you so much, guys. And all the participants, thank you again for you guys to take your time out. I know it has been almost an hour, so thank you so much. That also on Friday evening. Thank you for taking the time out. I hope you get a lot to learn from this session. And we hope that we get to see you as one of our guest speakers for the next 2026 Datathon. Okay, with that, I will be wrapping up the call. And yes, in case you have any questions, you have access to the Discord channel, you have access to the WhatsApp group. You will get the recording on the WhatsApp group as well as on the Discord channel. You will get the link to the PPT as well. And you will get also the abstract submission form through which you can submit your ideas. Okay, great. Thank you again, everyone, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.